Oh, absolutely. Well, this is something that perhaps is going to sound weird, especially coming from me, with who is advocating people, oh, like go to college and have different resources. But I also have to tell you, I agree with you 100%.
Hmm.
College is not for everyone. And a lot of people try and push other people, students or their children, and say, you must go to college or you won't be successful in life. And I can tell you that is not true.
That's
College
for sure.
can help you, but it's not a requirement to success.
Yeah,
So here are
that's
some
for sure.
times people should not go to college because there are different learning types and different abilities of people. So some people are more kinesthetic or more, they like to be more hands on. Some
Mhm.
people are more adventurous and they want to be entrepreneurs. Other people, they want to do something as like a service based business. And that's completely fine. So the very first thing, if you want to go to college and or be successful in life and don't want to college, let me rephrase that. If you want to go into a service based business like a plumber, an electrician, a real estate agent, a mortgage broker, anything along those lines, you don't necessarily need to go to college, and a trade school might be better for you.
Mhm.
Honestly put, that
Sure.
you could actually do something that you enjoy and still make great money. Real estate agents can make great money, plumbers can make great money, electricians can make great money. You don't have to go to college. And so, in that case, a trade school could be more helpful for you, where
Okay.
some of the resources we'll talk about today, you can even still get scholarships to trade school or grants. So, don't think that you're going to be out high and dry. So, that's the
Okay.
first
So,
thing. The
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. The second thing?
second thing is that and this is going to sound funny, but let's not forget that college is a means to an end, not an end to itself. And
Mm.
so I give an example like if you know have a really good idea for business that could make you a lot of money, go for it. And by this good idea, I mean, think about this. Bill Gates, who one time was the richest man in the world, dropped out of college to pursue an idea. Mark
Sure.
Zuckerberg, founder of
Mhm.
Facebook, dropped out of college to pursue an idea.
Mhm.
Steve Jobs dropped out of college to pursue an idea. So
Sure.
they had an idea to make potentially a lot of money. And let's not forget that if you have the opportunity, an idea to make a lot of money, you might want to just pursue that idea. Put college on hold for a little bit or make a plan and say, if this doesn't work out in 2 years, I'm coming back or something to that effect. But
Mm.
be willing to take a risk on yourself. And you'll find that even if you fail, at least you made the effort and you don't have to live with regret. If you're in college and you're offered a major career with like the NFL, the NBA, a pro golf association, or whatever, I'd suggest nearly you should consider taking that because, as I said, college
Mm.
is not the end. And if you have the opportunity to go do something that you love, that you're good at, and get paid well for it, you should consider perhaps either continuing asking the university, say, can I continue online, or find a way to do a college at another time because
Mm.
it'll be such a good opportunity for you. I'm saying take advantage of the opportunity if it's there. And finally, the last what time you should not go to college is if you're going to lie and cheat your way in. That's
Oh, yeah.
not great. Recently, had celebrities, about 50 celebrities, who would bribe college officials or
Hmm.
had their children stand rowing equipment where they'd never been on a rowing anything rowing in their life to get on the rowing team. That's
Sure.
unethical. And honestly put, if you're going to lie to get into college and if you can't get in on your own merits, don't go
Mm.
because it'll only come back to haunt you in ways that you're not going to appreciate later in life. And
Right.
this is what I say: is act with integrity and be truthful in what you represent of who you are and what you've done, and people will respect you for that. And that's
Sure.
what's great is you can say I earned that rather than I cheated my way into it.
Well, don't you think, though, that today we're sort of getting back to that in the sense that I know of a couple of very good college tennis players who are now on the pros. One just recently went to the semifinals or the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open. Uh, and then people now are going more to trade school, or maybe I'm wrong. Right now, nothing's being done with the pandemic. But do you think that it's trending in that respect now? Not going to college, I mean.
I think it's becoming more and more open to it because
Mm.
what's good, this is a good thing, is that our models are changing. Because back in the um, World War II era, going to school was a great option, and you'd go work at a company and you'd stay there for 30, 40 years, retire from the same company, and that would be it.
Sure.
But today's day and age, things have changed. There are more opportunities for people to go, I like this other company over here. I want to change there. Or
Mm.
I have this business opportunity to do something online that is amazing. And if it works out, would be awesome. That
Mm.
is a great opportunity. And plus, technology has improved where
Sure.
we can actually do virtual colleges, as we talked about before, and take college with us. That
Yeah.
is something that is remarkable because we don't have to go sit in a classroom. We could
Yeah.
actually still work and go to school while working full time, and then on our lunch break and after work, still go to school. That's what's
Okay.
great is there are so many opportunities changing. And as for people going to trade school, that's even coming back. I would love to see the apprenticeship program that we had in the early 1700s and 1800s of this nation come back more so. That is a great thing. And what that does is it actually puts more responsibility on the individual that
Sure.
each person here has to take charge of his or her own life. And
Mm.
that's great. You have more choices and more opportunities, but that also means you have more responsibility to make certain that you succeed as an individual.
Okay. Well, listen, Stephen, I'm going to ask you a political question that you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Do you think college should be free in the European sense? That is, minimal expenses for books and food and paid for by taxes, and students live at home or in lodging they pay for?
Okay. I will answer the question, but I'm going to first counter that with another question. And
Okay.
it's this. What about our current free model with high school? Do students
Right.
do generally well with that?
Sure.
And the answer is if you compare the United States schools to the world, we are drastically behind in reading. We're drastically behind in math and our sciences. And
Sure.
I've seen a shift in people. Then when they start going to college, they start actually realizing I'm on the hook for this and I have to do well because my future is at stake of being able to get a job. And I've seen many times even poor students who are bad high school students kick it in gear, so to speak, and suddenly they become great students in college. And the
Hmm.
difference is that they're actually valuing it now. So my point is with this is that I don't think, in a political sense, that college should be free without cost because
Okay.
that which is given to us freely, we don't value.
All
The
right. So
same
you're
thing goes
saying by
for,
putting some money on it that you're giving it value. Okay, I see what you mean. Keep going. Sorry.
I don't think that people need to go to the most expensive school that they can because I've looked at studies on this. In fact, there's one by Alan Kruger and Stacy Dale of the National Bureau of Economic Research, and I love their study. They actually compared people who were applied to and were accepted into an elite school, but then for whatever reason chose to go to a lesser prestigious school. And
Hmm.
they compared those people, so the equally talented people, with people who actually went to that school, the more prestigious schools. And they found that 5 years after graduation, there was no difference in pay or
Mm-hmm.
in quality of job for most of the majors. That's actually
Well,
really good news because it shows that it's when you use talent, your ambition, your willingness to connect and network with people, it doesn't really matter the school you went to as long as it's accredited. The only exception is business. If you're going to be a Fortune 500 CEO, you'd better be going to a prestigious school.
okay. Okay. Well, then, we only have a couple of minutes left. I just want to leave you with one thing, and that is like Harvard. I think I was looking over different salaries with my son, and we realized that if you go to Harvard, the average salary getting out of there is $145,000. If you go to something in the East Coast, a private college, it might be $80,000 a year, and they have different amounts you go to depending on the type of college. Uh, I don't know about that. That sounds very weird. But if you can answer that in a minute or so, that'd be great.
I can answer that. Is the people who go to Harvard are talented and highly ambitious people. Now, as I just said a moment ago, if you compare them with other talented and highly ambitious people, yes, it will be different. And so rather than just comparing the general populace, you have to compare apples to apples with same skills and abilities.
Sure.
Because there are people that I know who went to Stanford who make $9 an hour.
Yeah.
And so it's not a guarantee, is all I'm saying. It's what they're giving is the best of the best and the average results. But if you took the top students of any university and compared them with those of Harvard, you would see that they would often be right on par.
Okay. Well, listen, Stephen, we only have a little time left. I'd like you just to tell me about the books you have and repeat what your website is, and then we have to finish. Go ahead.
Oh, be glad to. So, okay, my book is called Finding College Cash, and you can get this anywhere books are sold. And so that's a great opportunity for people. And I wrote it as a story, so it's not a dry rote list of things you should do and things you should not, but it reads more like a novel, which is great for high school students and college students because it's something you can finish and digest without getting too overwhelmed.
Okay.
Then my website is findingcollegecash.com/challenge. I have both free resources and paid resources to help people avoid having to pay, as you said at the beginning, the equivalent of a second mortgage every single month, but help them still get a great education, whether trade school or college, and hopefully finish debt-free.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Stephen. We only have a few seconds left, and I would like to thank Stephen Roberts for being my guest today. This is Richard Bont, host of Curmudgeonly Yours on Society Bites Radio. Thank you, Stephen Roberts.
Thank you, Richard. It was a pleasure being here.
So I'd like to thank our guests for being on Curmudgeonly Yours today. And please, if you like what you heard, send me an email to richard@richardbont.com. And if you didn't, please keep your comments to yourself. Remember, this is Richard Bont and Curmudgeonly Yours on Society Bites Radio, where everything is what it seems, nothing is what it seems, and what is not said is often of most interest.